Hi and welcome to another installment in my Citroen Relay van build series. In today's video we're going to cover what hopefully should be a fairly simple job, and that's to fit the awning on the side. Now, I did have a look on YouTube for videos on this when I was choosing my awning, and actually there wasn't an awful lot available, so I thought I would make this little short video to show you what we're using, what actually comes with it in the box, and how we're going to install it. Coming up. Okay, so on our L4H3 we've decided to go with a side mount awning down the side here as opposed to a roof mount, because being quite a high van anyway, we just found if we went for the roof mount variety we were going to struggle to actually get up there with the winding handle to actually unwind it and put it away again. So there's plenty of space above the sliding door here and the top of the van to get a side mounted one here. If you had a H2 variety, and I think a roof mounted one would be better, and the van actually comes with these little brackets here for roof racks and things like that already on the van, which makes that quite a simple install. But for me, I'm going to have to actually cut some holes inside of the van. Now I've already pre-measured and set out where I'm going to do those, and my holes are marked here. I won't bore you with the details of how I measure that and all the rest of it. Measuring is, at the end of the day, just measuring. So let's go and have a look at the awning and see what we've got. Okay, so I decided to go with the Fiamma awning, the F45s, and this is the 4-meter long variety, all over there. Excuse the yellow scaffolding by the side of it there. It's the only place in the garden I could find to fit it. But just in the standard polar white. And the reason why I went for this and why I like this one is because if we're on a campsite, we probably will have a drive-away awning, and the attachments on the front here are very useful because they're nice and easy to get to, and they're right on the front. And some of the other manufacturers, they're really tucked away quite awkwardly underneath. And you actually have two. There's a bottom one and a top one. And interestingly, the bottom one, the connection that you slide your rubber piece into goes from the right hand side where the winder is, and if we go to the other end, the top one is accessible from the top on this side. So you've got a couple of options of which one you use and which side is going to be more convenient to slide it in from. And this is all actually right on the front of the awning, so it's nice and easy to get to and accessible. Right, let's have a look at the fittings that came with it. Okay, this is what comes in the accessory kit that comes with the awning. So, first things first, you have your winding handle, hook on that end, and the other end actually starts off life fairly straight, but then you can twist and twist to make the handle shape for operation, and then straighten it out again for storage in the van, which is quite nice. My one, because it's a 4-meter awning, has this additional center brace that you can put in. I think the shorter ones don't have it, but the longer ones do, so that's there. Then working our way along the back, we have some long ground pegs for the bottom of the legs if the wind gets up. We have 3 covers which go on the inside of the van where you put the bolts through, and the backing plate, this would go on and cover those. But because this is going to be behind the cupboards anyway, probably won't worry too much about that. This is the selection of fixings that you get. So you've got your bolt, a rubber washer, backing plate, and nylock nuts. The one thing I did note was missing from here was washers for the inside. These nylock nuts just literally go on the back of these backing plates. I'm not too keen on that. I'm a bit old-fashioned in so far as these things, and we'll probably add a washer to that as well, just for belt and braces on the situation. Move along, we have our 3 brackets, 2 wide ones, 1 thin one, so these go each end, and the thin one in the middle. Then we have this pack, which has the plastic brackets for the handle to go inside the van. And then finally here we have two plastic brackets which go on the outside of the van, on the side of the van, so you can clip the legs into these as opposed to putting the legs on the ground. Whether I should use these or not, I don't know yet. We'll probably look at that at a later stage, but at least it does come with it, which is quite nice. Okay, now let's get these holes drilled out. The instructions say a 6.5mm drill bit. Okay, then the next job is to just treat these holes with some paint. I'm just going to use some Hammerite on these. At the end of a cotton wool bud. Probably going to do the job quite nicely too then. Yeah, look at that. Nice and generous out, but not too generous, it goes down backwards. Go along all 6 holes and do that. Okay, let's give that 10 minutes to dry, so time to put the kettle on. Okay, so the Hammerites had a good 20 minutes to dry, so now it's time to get these brackets on. It does say in the instructions to apply a bead of sealant around the holes, and also to apply some sealant to the back of the bracket. I actually use Citroen Carbon, although I appreciate Sikaflex is the go-to product for most. But I've got a lot of experience of Citroen products in the past with frame sealants and building conservatories, and I've always been very happy with their products, so I'm happy to go with this one. And also it's a couple of pounds cheaper than Sikaflex, so which is always a good thing. So let's get this sealant on and then get this bracket fixed. Okay, right, quickly turned ourselves round. Glare from the sun is a nice problem to have, isn't it? And quite rare. Right, so little bead of sealant around these holes. So, and then I'm going to put a zigzag on the back of the bolts through. The bolts have a square end on them which fit into the square place here to stop them spinning when you're doing that from the inside. So we've got those two in. Rubber washers go on, and then let's shove that through the hole. Okay, so my 2 bolts are showing here, and next is going to be my plate. I did think about cutting this out where this closed cell foam is, but actually if I really squish that in between the plate, that's going to add another layer of waterproofing protection, I think, because I got 7mm of closed cell foam in behind there, so I'm just going to leave that in place. This bracket on. My extra additional washers that don't come in the pack. and then the 9-lock nuts. And as is always the case, these bolts are about an inch longer than they need to be, so let's speed this bit up, shall we? Okay, excellent, one down and 2 more to go, so I'll come back to you after I fitted those other 2. Okay, so we now have all 3 brackets in place, so now let's try and lift the awning up there. Oh, incidentally, to put these on, this really is a bit of a 2-man job, because you need one person on the outside to sort of hold the bolts in position, while the other one tightens them up from the inside. So you could do it on your own, but much easier with 2 people. Right, let's get this awning up there and see what it looks like. Okay, so the last job to do is to get the winder. Harry, can you do the honours on that? If you can twist it one way then the other so you can create a handle. That's it. If you can put that in the end there. That's it, and then unwind it by about 12 inches, something like that. It. Whoa, that'll do. Okay, so what we have left now are 3 little bolts and nuts, and what we need to do is, let's come back up the ladder here. Drill up through one of these holes. I think it's a case of take your pick which, and then bolt goes up, washer on the inside, and that will clamp it to the side of the van and stop it from moving. So let me get on and do that. Okay, that's one done. I'll go along and do the other 2 as well. Okay, so I've come across just one minor little problem. With the brackets I put onto the van, I followed the instructions where it said put the middle one pretty well plumb in the middle, but what we got here now is the hole in the bracket is right underneath this plastic bit in this roller, which I assume keeps the fabric coming in nice and straight and level, but now I can't get the washer inside because this piece of plastic is in the way. So what I'm going to do is just put one of these little self-tapping, self-drilling screws in there just to finish that off, and we should be fine. Okay, that's worked out fine, I think. Just a little self-drilling screw under there on the middle one, and I've got a bolt at that end and a bolt at that end. That is pretty well it. So that is how you unpack and install a Fiamma F45s awning on an L4H3 van. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.